Hey guys, it's Mike Monty, one half of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. And we want to reach out to all the fans out there who have supported our show to say thank you. Thank you for making 2021 one of our best years. And one of our best years was because of Anchor. Anchor, the way that you can have your voice heard. You can be just like us. Record your own podcast. Use the Anchor tools to edit your podcast. Use it on a phone. Use it on your computer. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all with Anchor, they're totally free. So be just like Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh. We're looking together for a great 2022. We've got huge guests coming on board. Oh, yeah. You probably wonder why Jimmy's not here right now. Well, he's prepping for one of the best interviews we're about to have, and we're going to surprise someone with. So hang aboard with us, and don't forget, be like us and use Anchor.
Jimmy, I got to take a dump. What? No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP. And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
To the bottom of the bottle, I've been drowning, I've been floating away. Every other dollar that I got in bed, I probably went into the way. I ain't f***ing okay, I ain't liking it, babe. I don't even wanna talk, I'm just smoking my haze. I've been stuck in my ways, I've been stuck in for days. I've been staring at the clock as the radio plays. I'm enslaved. Yeah. Rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat for the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family, from a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down to make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Oh my devil, when I knew not to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame.
Yeah, this is 3.
Okay, there he is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with episode number 3 of the original G-Man and Hip Hop presents the G-Spot, baby. So today we have a special guest on. His name is Chester A. Whitmore, and he is an authority figure in dance and choreography. And I'm just going to read a quick bio on Chester, and then I'm going to have G-Man take over the conversation. So Chester Whitmore, all right, he's a dancer, a band leader, a teacher, a choreographer, a director, historian. Whitmore has been dancing professionally since 1974. He was mentored by MGM dancer and choreographer Bayard Nicholas and the Nicholas brothers, and studied with famed performers John Bubbles, Leonard Reed, and Clarence Laundrie. He and his dance company, Black Ballet Jazz, have performed with Lionel Hampton Orchestra, the Duke Ellington Orchestra Band, under the direction of Mercer Ellington, the Count Basie Orchestra Band, and Miles Davis. In addition, his choreography can be seen in music videos for Madonna Vogue, Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, assistant choreographer for Michael Jackson's Thriller, and many, many more. Most recently, he has choreographed and appeared on screen in the Oscar-winning film La La Land, and he assistant choreographed with the famous movies, cult classic iconic films, Breaking 1 and Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Chester Whitmore.
Hello.
What's
People
going on,
out there.
Chester?
Hey, my man, how you doing? Hey, I'm blessed, man. It's great to thank you for being on here. I think you meant to say I present to you G man for the G spot, and then I will.
Yeah, no, the G spot. Wait a minute.
But let me tell you something. First of all, let me tell you, it's such a pleasure to have you on here, and I've been reading over a lot of your stuff, and it's very impressive, man. I thought I had a bunch of accolades, man. It's like you done so much that that you must have been back at the Jesus times. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, the internet says, the guy asked me, how old is he? And the internet said, well, I think he's 138. I said, no. One guy said, well, how long you been doing it? I said, well, it depends on what you're saying about me. Are you looking for Chester Whitmore, the artist, the animator, the filmmaker, the dancer, the actor, the stuntman? So I done a brief history. So all they did is added up the clearance of each accolades I'd done, and it shows I put together. And they added, he must be 138.
But let me tell you something though. And as an entertainer myself, man, it's great when you get a accomplished entertainer. And what even gets me is that some of the best entertainers are not the ones you see all over the TV, all over the place. Most of the best ones are the behind the scenes and are doing things to help other people. They're serving the kingdom and help building the kingdom, as opposed to just being the star of the kingdom, which we know that God is the star of the kingdom. So, but the fact that you did stuff with Count Basie, I want to touch on a little bit of the stuff.
That was fun. That was
that
was fun, boy.
Let's talk a little bit about that, and then we're gonna talk on how you went from doing that to the ballet stuff, and then with Mr. Hampton. So let's touch bases on the Count Basie thing, because that people want to know about that.
Well, as you know, Count Basie was like one of the most, they call them in them days, called it territorial bands. Territorial bands, man, they could take a riff, or like we do today, we call it take a beat or sample beat. They would take riffs and they would come out and grab these geniuses out of a 16-piece orchestra. They could take a music and look at it and transpose it that quick. And they say, oh, I can hear a riff. That's a really good groove, and rip it. And they would they call it territorial band because they could take a groove and go. Basie was the master of, they call it the Great American Rhythm Section. So no matter his rhythm section, bass, piano, drums, guitar, they can hold any tempo. If you go from his slow one, like that, to and they would dance that. And those many beats, they can study it without a metronome. If you give them a rhythm, they will hold that tempo. That's why they were rated the Great American Rhythm Section at that time. And I used to listen to him when I was a kid. I said, I would never imagine to meet him. I heard the songs like 1 O'Clock Jump, April in Paris, Jumping at the Woodside, and great vocalists. And I said, man, this band, I mean, he puts the terror and the funk into it and make it good. Now, not like Ellington. Ellington is, I call him the maestro. Ellington is more symphonic, but he can swing. He can swing. Don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing.
Right.
And so, but Basie was like basically, I would say, like I said, got the funk. He got those riffs that he put into a song, and he could take a song you don't like and make it swing. And I got a chance to meet him through one of my instructors named Roger Hamilton Spotch. He was a composer with Dizzy Gillespie at the time, and he was working with the Platters, and I was doing choreography, and he saw me working with the dancers and creating the riffs off the songs. And he said, you know what, you got a lot of music in your head. You need to learn how to do basic composition and composing. I hung out with him, and I became his copyist, meaning taking all the instrumentation. I had to write before computers came out. I had to handwrite the sheet music and everything else. Right. So I did that for 2 years and watched the harmonies in the sax section and hear it. He said, now I want you to put what you have in your head on that paper. And I had to figure it out. So I hear not only beats, but I hear rhythm, shades and stuff, what chords to use to make people feel happy with chords to me. And that later on came in handy when I did musical scores for motion pictures. I did a lot of action and dramatic movies and scores for that. So then Basie, he introduced me to Count Basie. And that was a dream there. And I was drumming, I was playing drums. And he said, hey, you want to meet Basie? Yeah. My friend Frank Foster works with him. And he took me up there, and Basie had this thing. He said, I heard Youngblood, you play drums. I said, yeah. He said, do you read? I said, yes, sir. Want to play a couple of numbers with the band? I said, what? My eyes said, boom. I said, me play with Basie? God, dog. And I said, man, I got to hold this tempo, then hold that groove. He said, give him the book. And I chose 3 songs in the book, and he let me play Avenue C, Little Darling, Splanky, and stuff like that. And I said, Mr. Basie, do you want me to play it, the 1938 version of Joe Jones, or you want me to 1953, Sonny Payne? He looked at me like, he said, you studied all of them? I said, heck yeah, those are my favorite cats. He said, no, just play the way you gonna play it. But one thing I want you to do is to swing it. Because once you're in the driver's seat, you got to drive that band. Because the drummer, a lot of drummers don't realize this. They just play for the beat. You got to realize you're playing for the beat, the drive, and volume. If you play loud, the horns got to play loud. Everybody got to play loud. If I drop down low to hear something important in the band, to keep the audience quiet, or the rest of the band's going to have to play low in order to hear that tempo. So those are little tricks I had to learn, the little intricate stuff to make things move. I don't care if it's classical, I don't care if it's funk, house. You learn those things, and that's the master of sound and musicians. So you learn how to estimate with the band. I used to listen to. Right now, I'm working with what's the gentleman? Have you heard Al McKimmett?
Yeah,
Al McKimmett. Al McKimmett is the main man who wrote Earth, Wind, and Fire. And we heard of all the great songs Earth, Wind, and Fire did, all those horn sections, and I said, my God, this guy is it. And I get a call, and he said, would you open up for my show? So I'm going to bring my orchestra. That will be in October. Al McKimmett's orchestra will be playing. They're closing it out with Chaka Khan, and we're going to have Stevie. But I'm going to be opening it up, because I'm going to be showing the refuge of how dance relationship from that era to funk and hip hop stuff. So.
Oh, go ahead. You finish your thought. Finish your thought.
Because that's, like I said, Basie was a highlight playing with him, and it gave me a great insight of earside. And then later on, I played with Ellington, not Duke, his son Mercer. I would have loved to play with Duke. Then I learned a lot from Mercer with his dad. And then after that, some of the great white bands I played with, Les Brown Orchestra. I worked at, and the great Lionel Hampton. I was on tour with him for 6 months. And that, talking about not only not playing, but dancing with my company. And that was an experience. You talk about how to keep an ear open, and if you have to dance. It was a great thing about learning improv. You have to be not only to read the music or dance to choreography, you got to know bars and have a quick ear for improv if I'm dancing, because Lionel will change up on you in a minute.
Yeah,
he's the king of. Yes, and you have to. He was the king of stomp. He was this king of stomp rhythm. That you know how you go to a house party and the whole house be jumping. That type of like that. And he was that type of groove. And if I say, like we were in a circle, we're ciphering of hip hop, like we're doing something. I said, okay, I said, give me 8 bars, or give me 16 bars. Your ear got to dissect it, and when that person, or he or she, is finished, I'm jumping in, and I got to jump. How? And when you work with a live orchestra, it's different energy. You could do that, but if I'm say, hey, gee, man, you got the saxophone part. You just got it. You jamming. And the sax player is blowing this thing, and you're killing the improv. You're doing it, bam, bam. And okay, I'm supposed to be doing 8 bars, and I'm going to get in there, kick my butt and jam it. And then the next trumpet comes in, another group. That's it. And that saxophone starts feeling good. He don't get off the stage. That means you gotta stay on. You gotta stay on there. And you said, wait a minute, when's he gonna stop? I said, wait, I finished the choreography. Then that's when your other kids gotta kick in. Yeah, boom. And you gotta go in. And so every night was different like that. Sometimes he might do 16 bars. I might be up there for 2 minutes. And my brain is going, boy, you start getting creative after a while.
Yeah. You know, it's amazing to listen to the stories because, I used to sit back when I was younger and I'd watch the reruns of the Count Basie's and all the old orchestras. And I actually, on some of the music that I use timeless, I make timeless music. And if you listen to some of the stuff that I'm on, you hear the horn riffs and hits and see. I may have to bring you on to do some choreography and do some things because I'm futuristic because I think on the other end of eternity, which is one of the reasons why I got my doctorate in theology of music. You understand what I'm saying? Because I understand how music and the waves and the sounds and different things, how it attacks the mind and the body and the soul and the spirit. You know what I mean? So that's why, somebody like yourself, I'm so glad that Tim has brought you on here because we was talking about like I develop new artists and stuff like that. But this is a part that the artists don't get. See, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding that you're dropping, a lot of them just don't get it. They don't get it, and to have your wisdom to back up some of the stuff that I teach and that I talk about during the development, that's powerhouse stuff. This is powerhouse stuff. You can't write the stuff that we're talking about that we understand, and the fact that I study psychology as well. That you can't teach this. You can't understand this. You can't unless you have a gift like you have a gift. Because the ingenuity is not taught. That's alert behavior. You know what I mean? So I'm so proud. Go ahead. I was at the college and they were doing a thing. And I said, okay, why are we teaching these kids this if they're gonna go out and try to get a job and they don't know how to dissect this real quick, or they don't hear or understand. One guy said, well, don't you think we'd do it like that? I was, when we did a choreography class, we had a choreography class, and I had a lot of choreography, and there were a lot of great choreographers out there today. I mean, I might take my hat off to them. The one thing they don't understand that some of them work a little bit differently. I work from a standpoint different because a guy said, well, you're old school. I said, yeah, I'm old school, but I don't need certain things that you guys might need. Like we had an assignment and we was working. We had the chorus line here and this hip hop doing it. And I got the song. And I said, and they gave us each choreographer. I had about 3 numbers. And I said, I listened to it. I said, okay, I got it. I said, you have the work done by tomorrow morning. They looked at me like, don't you gonna take a week? One guy said, I'll take a week to do it. Another guy take a week. No, I said, no. All I need to know, tell me your concept, tell me your story. What are you looking for, main points? I'll bring back to the table my highlight and see if you like it, yay or nay. No, but as far as breaking the music down, I did it in 15 minutes. I heard it for 3 or 4 times and I got it. Then the guy said, and he said, how did you do that? Well, when I was with, one of the main guys I worked with learning choreography was Leonard Reed. Now, Leonard Reed is a phenomenal, he was a promoter of, and this is from the 20s, 30s, and 40s, on the TOBA circuit. TOBA means Toby, meaning Theater of Black Artists Association. And that was a thing that went out from the 1900s all the way, it ended around like 58. But it's been around. Then later on, they call it the Chitlin Circuit. And then after that, in the late 50s, 60s, they call it the Black Belt Circuit. And we had to come in and create a dance and listen to it. We all had codes. The Afro-American choreographers had codes because we didn't have no dance studio. We didn't have nothing to work out our stuff. We have to do it. So your creativity has to come in as a choreographer to drop in it.
you know, certain steps like the ballet terms, they'll go pirouette, they would do invert. I said, okay, well, what about interlock, X blocks, like X turns, X locks and stuff. And even in my stunt work, I do that in the martial arts thing too. People didn't understand. I said, you got to learn where your core is. Now, a lot of the dancers do it naturally, but they don't know how to, if I say set a move and have something really good, they forget it and I can't film it again. I said, so you have to learn both. Keep the improv, but know what you're doing. And like that, I say, okay, what's the typical thing that everybody says? Kickball chain. That's a ballet composition. Okay, but that comes from a vernacular. Did you know the original was called run, kickball chain, or a military half break from the Civil War, the Buffalo Soldiers. So if I did something like, let me see something like this. Can you see in the back?
Yeah, I see it.
This is my studio, little studio. I'm at the famous Barbara Morrison studio, 3-time Grammy Awards. I'm at her theater. This is where we're at. And she passed away, but she was queen of the blues. If I did something like, can you tell me, can you see my whole body?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. In ballet terms, this down. I don't know why I got this thing.
Hold on. Wait. We gotta give you a formal introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, we got one of the legends of choreography and dance in the house, Mr. Chester Whitmore. He's gonna show you some stuff that you can only see here. Go ahead, take it away, Chester.
Okay. Just let me know if you got the whole body, you guys. Can see?
Yep.
Okay.
We got you.
In ballet terms, go kickball chain, which is nice. Okay. Well, I'm not knocking on that stuff. But if you're gonna get into it, you move into it. See, your foot, you gotta run, and then do the kickball chain. If I do it sideways, kickball chain. But if I'm doing move into it. And those are meant, believe it, that's military half breaks come from the Buffalo Soldier. Now, remember what I was talking about, the TOBA circuit? The TOBA Theater of Black Artists?
Yes.
That was called the break. If I go, the boom, everybody hit, that was the TOB break.
Wow.
Okay? Chop do bop, boop bop, yeah. Chop do bop, got. Put them both together, because in the Civil War and also in World War II, the Black soldiers were always on the front line. They were on the front line. And so who's gonna get killed first? Okay, but if you learn how to do the TOBA circuit, if you come in with your rifle, chop,
right.
They duck, and everybody else behind them got shot.
Hey, you know what? You know the funny thing is, when you was up there and you was dancing, you remember Fred Astaire. I know you know about Fred Astaire.
Oh yeah, of course.
Now, like I'm the type that I think on the other end of eternity. I told you that, and I would always like when I was because I'm that I'm a man that named this hip hop culture. When I go back as a child doing this hip hop thing, I used to make myself an instrument because I could rhyme on any instrument in any beat. And most people can't do that as rappers and hip hop artists. Now, I used to use Fred Astaire because back Ginger Rogers, Fred Astaire, and Shirley Temple. They used to have these shows that came on, and then Fred Astaire would go up. His hands were so big, so he'd always keep them folded, and like he'd keep his hands like this almost, right? So he'd go up and down stairs, and he'll go like da 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 but after that, that. So I watched that and I got so intrigued by that I literally, Chester, I'm telling you, I wrote a song and I used his dance steps as my lyrics. Like right, because I was using the alias as known as the Midwest Monster. I was using MC Friction. So short for MC Friction, they used to call me Frick Frack, right? So I literally wrote a song, and the song lyrics went kind of like, well, it's the Frick Frack from way back. My skills fat and all that plus the tax. You better ask somebody if you see somebody, because I'll be heating up a jam like a bottle of Bacardi. So it was like I'd use his dance steps like lyrics.
You're doing a part of a Ray riff in there. You know that? You're doing a part of Ray. You know,
I didn't know.
No, but when you did that, that was a pop of a Ray riff. You put the stop time in the middle of it. You said and see how now you see how you use those words and how your body did like this.
Yeah.
You see how your body did that?
Yeah.
That's that groove. You said you broke out. You said.
Yes. That's just what he did. That's just what Fred Astaire would do up and down the steps. The same thing.
That's your rip. I just put your.
Yes, that's it. Because I was saying the rhymes while you was doing that, and it fit perfect. So you know, like, and that's why I say about having these gifts. See, now you just gave me confirmation that a higher power is dealing with me still and helping me grow and help build the kingdom. That's why together. And my manager Tim. Thank you so much, Tim, for bringing him on here. And Tim is going to make sure that me and you link together because I see a connection there. You know what I mean?
1,000,000%.
Gotcha.
Me developing
you definitely got come in and see some of this stuff and come to the lectures I have, because I do a whole series of lectures and I bring on a lot of the old great masters that are still alive right now.
What city are you in? What city are you in?
I'm in Los Angeles.
You're in LA. Okay.
Okay. Now, you know, let me give you the backstory. Fred Astaire started, let me tell you how he started dancing. Fred was originally a ballroom and ballet dancer. Okay. Now, when he grew up, the real star of the family was his sister, Estelle and him. And they would go around and they would do these vaudeville circuits with Ziegfeld Follies and stuff like that. The old movies, black and white movies you saw him in were based off of the plays. Now, the real star in the family was his sister, but she got married to this English guy and she made enough money and just left Fred Astaire by himself. So he's by himself. What do I do? So he wanted to proceed and he loved the vaudeville and he looked at the tap dancer. She said, "You like tapping really bad?" He said, "I really want to learn that." She said, "I'm going to show you how to tap." She had a friend. Now, guess who the friend was? Ready? The friend that taught him how to dance was 3 people. The first main person was, remember these names, it was John Bubbles. John Bubbles was the father of rhythm dance. Anything like you said, Savion Glover and them doing right now, John Bubbles created all that rhythm stuff in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. He watched them. It was Bill Robinson, but the main man that got MGM studio on all the stuff, all the dancers like Ann Miller and stuff, was Willie Colvan. Remember that name, Willie Colvan. They had a group called the 4 Colvans, and he taught Eleanor Powell. He taught all the white dancers that were great. And then he was so popular, they built him a studio on the lot. So I'm just giving you inside information.
What about
but I also
Carlos? What about Scatman Carlos?
Oh man, me and Scatman Carlos used to hang out, and we used to have the comedy club in the late 60s and 70s. That was Red's Enterprises. Red Fox had his own enterprise. And that was when we had Sanford and Son and everything. He invested in a whole comedy. Everybody was there. Paul Mooney was there. Bill Cosby was there. Steve Martin was there. John Belushi.
Mhm.
all the you name it. All the best writers for Black humor. Norma Miller, my teacher, she was there, you know, and she wrote the book of the history of Encyclopedia of Black Humor. That's what it's named now.
Okay, okay. You know, because
Yeah.
'cause as an entertainer, it's a lot of artists don't understand. As an entertainer, you have to be diverse and multifaceted.
Oh,
See,
God,
like
yes.
like when I'm hosting or emceeing a show, I do voices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do Barry White, I do Bernie Mac, I do Michael Jackson, I do Cat Williams. You know, I do, you see, and these are gifts. I've never studied none of these things, but these are natural gifts. So,
Chill, we gotta have him on. I gotta get him on one of my comedies they're gonna say. And ladies and gentlemen, right now we have the one and only Bernie Mac. Will you come in here right quick? Bernie Mac, what do you say? You go do your
You
Bernie
know
Mac
what
thing.
my takeaway from this is to know the history of the business that you're in and know the business behind the business. So I know, like Chester, you, for example, man, I know you were probably interested in dance and choreography at a really early age, but the chance meeting you had with the Nicholas brothers is what ultimately steered you to what you do today. So for the people that
Yeah.
don't know the Nicholas brothers and may not know of like the original Cotton Club, explain to the audience like who the Nicholas brothers were and also what the Cotton Club was.
Oh my God. Well, the Cotton Club was one of the various Black nightclubs that was built in 1924. Really, it was called a French name at first. It was really made to embezzle liquor, numbers, rackets, and everything else. But there's one out of the gangsters, you may say, but one gangster was very enterprising. He was into his thing, but he was also into entertainment, and he loved entertainment. And they got to figure out a way how to get the money, moved around from the cops and stuff. So the guys said, I got an idea. Let's make an all-Black club. In them days, of all-Black clubs. No, it was a club that was paid all-Black performers was in there. No Blacks were allowed, but white entertainers, white audiences were allowed. The best in the world of entertainers would come at the Cotton Club. They did production values, and it was incredible. Chorus girls, great bands, and this lasted all the way to the late 40s. When you talk about during the Harlem Renaissance period of the time in Harlem, when I say Harlem Renaissance, it's mainly New York, but it has spread it across Chicago, even Los Angeles. So when I say Harlem Renaissance, I mean a period. Mm-hmm. But in New York, your three major clubs would have been the Cotton Club, the Apollo Theater, and the Savoy Ballroom. Now, let me break that into session. All of them had entertainment thing, but if you're looking for the best production value of all singing, dancing, everything, go to the Cotton Club. Everybody came out of the Cotton Club. Best entertainers, go to the Apollo Theater. You gotta be best comedians, best singers, best bands and stuff. Go to the Apollo. Best dancers, go to the Savoy. Savoy was the first integrated ballroom in the world, size of a city block. And I mean, thousands of people in there, Black and whites were coming there, but it was mainly Black, but that's where the soul of a lot of the dancers came out of like the Stretchy, the Lindy Hop, Charleston's, Balboa, Shag, Mambo, Rumba. And we had other ballrooms too, but a place like that, it jumped every night. I mean, listen, every night. You had a house band, the fabulous Chick Webb band, and it's King of Swing Kings. Those guys were monsters. They were just, and so I'm just giving you ideas.
And we got 6 minutes. We got about 6 minutes left on here. And
okay.
A quick story about the Apollo there. Of course I did the Apollo. I played the Apollo. And I'm gonna tell you a story about it. I knew I wasn't adverse to some things. The log, the log, the famous log, right? Now, the first time I touched the log, I literally was there with Rob Bass. We was doing It Takes Two, Joy and Pain, performing at the Apollo. And the log wasn't even, it was like sitting in the back of the curtain, but on the side of the curtain. And they was like, where G-Man at? They looking for G-Man. I'm sitting there having a conversation with the log. I'm like, you know, you were beautiful. You the most touched thing that I ever seen in my life.
Because you knew so many people that went by that log.
And touched that log.
Everybody touched that log.
Yes.
Now, see, you were smart. And see, the average entertainer or people would not know that. They will not know that. Not unless they do. Even today, some people are just now touching, you know, on it. That's what, hey man, you were smart. And then it won't until later on. They'll say, you know, I was over there. G-Man was over there touching that log. I should have been over there touching that log.
Yeah, exactly. You know? So, but Tim, we only got a few more minutes, and I'm like a kid in a candy store. I'm being educated on a level that.
Oh, wait. Let me finish off what Tim Rose said. The guys at the Nicholas Brothers, they came from out of the Cotton Club and stuff. And I was fortunate to meet them here in Los Angeles. One of them, Bayard, the oldest one, was the one that taught me. And I met him he had a car, I was changing his car tire. Nobody would help him, and I rode on my bike and I helped him. And that's when he saw my pair of tap shoes on my bike. And he said, you're a dancer. He said, you want to learn how to dance? I said, yes. And we had a friendship, but no, I did not know who he was. At that time, I did not know anything about him. I was with him for 2 years. In them days, black films were not on television. And late at night, I saw a great movie called Stormy Weather. Write that down. 1943. Stormy Weather is the movie that inspired me to dance. And the two guys that, you know, the Nicholas acrobatics, they split down steps. And I'm going like, you know, you got to imagine, I've never seen black people on TV and in a musical. We seen Fred Astaire and everything, but we never seen that. But, and then come to find out, that was one of the Nicholas Brothers. That's how he got me started. And then he started taking me around. I got a chance to visit a lot of the great. I was like the throw around kid. I was with him for 2 years. I left him, Clarence Landry, worked with Duke Ellington, left him, Argelia Thompson, king of the soft shoe, and he taught me my acrobatics. Espen Mosby, the group that started the Pecking, 1934. Yeah, they were the first group, the Afro-American group that went to China, represented the jazz in China. From there, I left there. I worked with Catherine Dunham. I did Pearl Primus. I worked with a lot of. I've done almost anybody from.
Have you ever worked with the Cornelius family?
With the acrobatics, so it's
no Cornelius, the singing group, African American family singers.
No, I heard
Cornelius.
I heard of them, but I never got a chance to work with them. I would have loved to.
Well, we got like 2 minutes here, and I want to do a closing thing here, and I want to have you back. I definitely want to have you back. I'm gonna have Tim, you know, management get in touch with you, and we're gonna get in touch because I got a feeling that Tim is gonna make sure that we link up because I see we got greatness that can get together and make something real great happen. You know what I mean? And
okay, it'll be fun. And let me note that they know this Sunday, the night after tomorrow, one of my junior groups is going to be performing. It's called Footprints, A Step in Time. Hey, Captain. Hey, what am I? How you doing, Captain? Yeah, it's called Footprints, A Step in Time at the African Museum of Art. Starts at around. We're going to be live cast. My small band will be there, 7-piece jazz, and it's they do all historical jazz dance, rhythm and blues. That it's going to be a crazy show. I'll be there.
Is that in California?
Yes.
Hit us with the address because we got like a minute and we got to close out.
I will give you the head address, and it's on live cast. You can broadcast it. You can see it live. We'll be broadcasting and everything.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank Mr. Chester Whitmore for coming on here. He's an encyclopedia of knowledge of entertainment. Hopefully God is going to bless us where we can work together. We want to thank Universal Talent Bookings for coming on and co-hosting the show with me, Mr. Tim Beals. And we are so excited to have y'all here. Welcome to the original G-Man of hip hop, the G Spot. And this is episode 3. We're getting ready to have episode 4 where we have Mr. Rob Kenneth on there. And it's going to be amazing. We'll see you next time. Same place, same black channel.